Hey, what up, guys? Back from my review for Monday Night Raw tonight, July 5th, 2010. This was I thought this was a pretty decent Raw. It was a vast improvement from last week's shit show, which it was. There's a lot more wrestling tonight, some good promos, good segments. This GM stuff, which I'll get to in a little bit, keeps getting more interesting. So let's get to it. To open the show, sorry. Raw opens with Nexus in the ring, and Wade Barrett, thankfully, is back. He's there in the middle of them all. Wade Barrett's on the mic. He says, Nexus is like, we can't reveal why we've done what we've done the past few weeks just yet, but believe me, it has a purpose. So the storylines, I feel like, it's gonna go on for another few months or so, which is great. I mean, I don't care. This is the best thing that happened to Raw in a while. Yeah, he said what happened to Vince McMahon had to be done. So see what he means by that. And he says, it's all part of a bigger picture. It's all about the future. And Skip Sheffield gets on the mic and says, unlike the beating we gave Vince a few weeks ago, the beating on the legends last week, including Ricky Steamboat, was for fun. And he says because of Steamboat's beat down, more people are going to want to buy his DVD now. An email comes in to Cole, and the GM says that the stipulation has for Nexus, like if they attack any WWE superstar, they'll be terminated on the spot, and vice versa has been lifted. So I guess they're free to attack anyone they want now. That's wait, what did it say? Oh, and then the other thing in the email, it says until further notice, no Nexus member, I guess including Wade Barrett, will get a title shot, a title match. Sure enough, out comes Cena. Says some stupid bullshit, blah blah blah, some more crappy little jokes. I wasn't even paying attention to what he was saying. He said. Cena said, now you'll get 7-on-7, and Randy Orton, Evan Bourne, Hart, Dynasty come out. Who else? And a few other guys come out, like 6 faces come out to help Cena. They come down to the ring. Brawl starts, but then so the heels come out, like Sheamus, Edge, Jericho, Miz, a couple other guys come out, and they start beating down the faces. So Nexus, meanwhile, is scatters away up to the top of the ramp, and words exchange. Cena says some shit, and it's later found out that the Money in the Bank members, Money in the Bank ladder match members, will face each other in a series of matches later in the night. So more emails come in. It says there will be no 7-on-7 right now. Instead, Cena and Wade Barrett will have to have a truce later in the night. So that right away was interesting. And have to shake hands, call it a truce. And Cena says, how about I take my fist, clench it up, and knock Barrett's teeth out? And because he said, I know you're watching this live, GM. So then GM emails right back and says, Cena, right now I know you're frustrated, but Cena should be the bigger man and shake Wade Barrett's hand and call a truce. So we go to commercial. And this is the thing. It says, Cena should be the bigger man, and that's the bottom line because the GM said so. So, I mean, right there I was like stone cold, but I don't think so because I know he's doing movies and shit, and he's, when he guest hosted Raw in March, that was his last thing for a while or something. And plus, I still have my guts telling me it's The Rock. I don't know. A lot of you probably think I'm crazy, but I mean, they're. I just think they're doing the Stone Cold thing maybe to throw us off from the fact that it actually is The Rock, or it's just someone else. But they're doing some teasing us with this Stone Cold shit, which is ridiculous. I hope it's The Rock and they just use Stone Cold shit so everyone thinks it's Austin and Pal. The great one comes out at the end of all of it. So I hope I'm right. But, so commercial. Then King, back from commercial, King is plugging WWE and YouTube. Then the first match tonight is John Morrison versus Ted DiBiase with Maurice. Comes down to ringside in a nice white dress. She's looking sexy as usual. DiBiase won in about 6-7 minute match. It was decent, I guess. Won with Dream Street, and Maurice kind of distracted Morrison. And then after that, Kozlov and Santino are walking to the ring backstage, and Kozlov said if they lose, he'll break like every bone in Santino's face or something. It was funny. Commercial, and then Cole shows what has happened between Cena and Nexus over the past month. So Santino and Kozlov versus William Regal and Great Khali is next. Santino and Kozlov win in a very short match. Khali never even got in. After the match, Khali did his brain chop to Regal, so that was stupid stuff. Cole says after the commercial they'll talk about an update or whatever condition of Ricky Steamboat after last week. Back from commercial, King says some shit about Steamboat, how he didn't like seeing what happened to him and whatnot. They show the Legends beatdown from last week, and then Josh Matthews is backstage with Arn Anderson, one of the Legends who was beat down this week. He talks about Ricky's condition, how upset he is, and Sheamus walks up and talks some shit, and Arn Anderson says, "Don't you know what's happening in your company right now? Like a hostile takeover," and Sheamus acting all cocky and stuff. And Sheamus says, Nexus is smart because they haven't gotten my business. He says, as far as I'm concerned, Nexus will be better than the Four Horsemen ever were. So it's a big thing to say. Arn Anderson just shakes his head, and Sheamus says, "You just don't get it." And he walks off, and Sheamus kind of smirks, but then kind of second guesses himself kind of look. So go to commercial. Back from commercial, it's going to be R-Truth versus The Miz. Miz comes out rapping the R-Truth theme, which is pretty hilarious. But Miz, when he gets in the ring, he hits Truth with the mic, and then just starts kicking the shit out of him, starts working on his left arm / shoulder. He just destroys left arm, slams it against the ring post, snaps it against the ropes or whatever. And Miz gets on the mic. Truth is helped to the back, and says, "How do you feel, Truth?" He's like, "It hurts, doesn't it?" or whatever. He's like, "That's how everyone's gonna feel when they're in the Money in the Bank ladder match with me," or something like that. And commercial, I thought it was good shit from Miz here because he was serious in that beatdown. I like that side of him. Back from commercial, show what just happened to R-Truth, and then Edge comes out and he's hosting the Cutting Edge. His two guests are going to be Chris Jericho and Evan Bourne. Edge gets on the mic and says a moment of silence for what just happened to R-Truth. It's funny. He says he only knew one song, but he did it well. It's funny. Edge talks about he could. Edge, he talks about how he could let the Nexus incident slide, when they interrupted his Fatal 4-Way match for the WWE title, but then he says, or he could gain 7 powerful allies. So he says how he could be a good leader for Nexus, an experienced guy like him. And Y2J comes out and says, he doesn't take a backseat to anyone because Edge actually asked Evan Bourne to come out, but Jericho came out. And he talks about being Wade Barron's mentor and that he should owe some of this influence on all these beatdowns to Chris Jericho. And Edge says, and then Jericho says, why would they want a leader who can't even beat Evan Bourne? So, but I'm about to go to part 2, guys, so stick around.